In one of the darkest times in biblical history, a mother's love became an act of courage that would change the world forever. The Hebrew people were living as slaves in Egypt, suffering under the rule of Pharaoh. Fearing the growing number of Hebrews, Pharaoh gave a cruel command throughout the land. Every Hebrew baby boy was to be killed. Fear spread through every Hebrew home. Mothers held their children tighter, wondering if tomorrow would bring tragedy to their families. But during this terrifying time, a woman named Jochebed gave birth to a son. The moment she held her baby in her arms, something stirred within her heart. She knew she could not give him up. Though the world around her was filled with fear, Jochebed chose faith. For 3 months, she hid her son in secret. Imagine the anxiety she lived with every day. Every sound outside the house could mean danger. Every cry from the baby could expose them. Yet Jochebed continued protecting him with the fierce love only a mother could give. She likely stayed awake through restless nights, praying that God would somehow make a way. But as the child grew older, hiding him became impossible. And so Jochebed faced the hardest moment of her life. She carefully made a small basket from reeds and covered it so it could float safely on the Nile River. Then, with tears in her eyes, she placed her precious baby inside. No mother would ever want to let go like that. But Jochebed trusted God even when her heart was breaking. She placed the basket among the reeds near the riverbank, while Moses' sister, Miriam, watched from a distance. Then God began moving in ways no one could have imagined. Pharaoh's own daughter came to the river and discovered the baby. When she saw him crying, compassion filled her heart. Instead of harm, she chose mercy. As she stood there, Miriam, Moses' sister, approached like a helpful bystander and said, "Shall I go and call for you a nurse from the Hebrew women, that she may nurse the child for you?" Pharaoh's daughter agreed, unknowingly allowing Moses' own mother to care for him once again under the protection of the palace. And through God's perfect plan, Jochebed herself was brought back to care for her own son as his nursemaid. The mother who released him in faith was given the chance to hold him again. That little baby would one day become Moses, the man God would use to lead his people out of slavery. But before Moses became a leader, he was first protected by the courage of his mother. Jochebed's story is the story of a mother who refused to give up, a mother who trusted God in impossible circumstances, a mother whose love was stronger than fear. And even today, her faith reminds us that sometimes the greatest acts of courage happen quietly, through prayer, sacrifice, and a mother willing to place her child into God's hands. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful Bible stories, faith-filled journeys, and inspiring biblical content